under the category performance, and the project name is Power Transmission, A Journey Towards Excellence, WBSETCL, transmitting happiness to people's life. Since formation in the year 2007, as per Electricity Act 2003, WBSETCL is striving for better and quality power to its end consumers and stakeholders, and play the pivotal role in the following areas. It acts as transmission licensee, as state transmission utility and state load dispatch center, and as a system operator. So performance of WBSETCL has been improving continuously. Just remove this. Remove this. I cannot see it. It's just minimize this. Yes. Sorry for the interruption. Performance of WBSETCL has been improving continuously in the last 12 years in managing the growing demand of the state by efficiently developing and expanding the transmission network, utilizing limited financial resources, and without compromising with the quality of power supply. Initiatives taken by
Mr. Banerjee, sorry to interrupt.
Sure.
Your slides are not moving. We are seeing only the first slide.
Okay. Just a minute. Let me see it. Is there any problem?
Yes, yes.
Now I should go for the slides. Slideshow. Yes. Is there any problem? Whenever I'm going to the there is a issue. Whenever I am going to full screen mode, it's not moving. Can you see it now?
Sir, we are able to see your screen.
Only the first slide is there.
Okay,
Yeah,
then
now
I'm
it's visible.
continuing in this mode because there is some issue.
No problem. Now slide number 2 is visible.
Yes. So I'm continuing. Initiative taken by WBSETCL 12 years back had been followed and reapplied in the first 5 years in a scalable manner, which helped improving its technical and financial performance over time significantly. The same process with few adjustments has been planned and will be replicated for the next 5-year planning and execution stages of the company. All these activities of the project paved over a long duration has made this nomination very unique throughout and sets an epitome of excellence compared to other similar enterprise. So first I am going to explain what is actually the parameters for performance, particularly for a Transco. Before going that, I am going to the challenges which we have faced to come to this particular benchmark. The challenges are actually manifold and it's continuous in nature. This is the only state in the country have its jurisdiction in landslide-prone Himalayan terrain as well as cyclone-prone coastal areas. There is no other state in the country which is having such a diversified geographical jurisdiction. So maintaining good availability in such difficult areas and situations was always challenging. State already have faced cyclones like Ayla, super cyclone like Amphan, and that too within the COVID pandemic period. And this is really challenging for us to maintain high availability because of these geographical issues. And secondly, in one hand, non-uniform rapid load growth, and in other hand, huge ROW and land-related problems. So the demand increase once it was 3.5 to 4%, and since last 2 years it's around 10%. So any planning is very difficult to understand that what will be the load growth. It's sometimes so sudden and so rapid, but still we are managing to handle our system with this kind of load growth, though there are huge hindrances whenever we are trying to expand our network, because sometimes the land issue, ROW issues are going to litigation, court case. These are the challenges we are facing. Gradual phasing off of old units. Mainly our state is dependent on fossil fuel based generation, and very less percentage of idle is here, and renewable is also not appreciable quantum still now in West Bengal. So for fossil fuel based generation, there are numbers of issues. And these generating stations are actually for pollution issues. National Green Tribunal, they are sometime just giving some verdict to take out of bus for some machines, decommissioning of machines, and new machines are not coming. So very difficult to handle the system whenever the internal generation is going up to that less amount, because overnight we cannot, over a period of 1 month or whatever be the notice given by NGT, over a period of month or 2 months we cannot generate any network. And another issue is extremely high peak is to off peak ratio. It is around 3.7 is to 1 even of the state demand. This ratio is actually the summer peak is to winter off peak ratio. And this ratio is making it very difficult for the load dispatchers to handle the EMBAR issues and high voltage issue. Then it is what I have already mentioned, that there is not appreciable amount of renewable and hydro. So we are totally dependent on fossil fuel based generation, and it is having its own limitation like slow ramp rate and MTL issues, coal crisis. This kind of problems are there. And so definitely this kind of things are leading to congestion, and sometimes it is very difficult to balance the central sector scheduled royal. So we had implemented numbers of mechanism to handle this kind of things. I will come later. With increasing number of tie lines and with expansion of the pan-India grid, higher fault level is a real challenge for the WBSCTCL now. There are numbers of substations where fault level is actually crossing the limit. So that is another growing problem. And the inventory management is actually nowadays very difficult, because after the COVID setback, the industries are still not coming out of this problem. So there is a delay of supply of numbers of spares. And as a result of that, some random projects, some new projects starting from scratch, they are actually hindered because of this kind of delay to get the material. So these are some of the challenges what we are getting. There are numbers of, I'm not mentioning because of the time limit. So now performance of WBSCTCL, what exactly we have done. So how a performance of any transco is defined? What are the main parameters? Firstly, it is system availability. I will show you the graph that consistent performance of around 99.9% availability we are maintaining since last 10 years. And quality power supply is the second parameter. There also we have achieved a lot, because right now there is no low voltage belt in the state, and we have achieved here in stages, because we always believe that progress is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So we believe in achieving the things in stages. And transmission loss, right now we are at the landmark of 2.1, probably lowest in the country. Transmission cost is also very less. Right now, our transmission cost is 22.47 paisa per kilowatt hour. So this is one of the lowest in the country. Adaptation of new technology to resolve the challenges, I will come, and how it is relating to people and how it's benefiting people. There are numbers of things. Firstly, there is a project by Government of India to go for electrification from Behrampur to Bongaigaon. And this entire area electrification is actually on its way, and we are helping it pivotally to giving 130 kV level power. So there are numbers of 132 kV railway traction substations. We have built some, we are providing power. So the nation's will is actually fueled by us in that particular huge area, starting from mid of the West Bengal and to Assam. Then number 7 point is very important, is the ability to disaster management, that I have mentioned that our geographical area is very much challenging. And we have faced in the year 2020, when the total country there was lockdown for this COVID. During the super cyclone Amphan, the speed was recorded as highest 185 kilometers per hour. It was not a normal one, super cyclone, and it took place 2020. And through efficient grid management by SLDC West Bengal and proactive actions by Transmission Wandam Department, we have successfully minimized the power interruption in South Bengal. Within midnight of 20th May itself, power restored in 21 numbers of HB substance out of total 29 numbers affected, and power restored at 6 numbers of EST substance within 24 hours. After such a huge cyclone, maintaining power system with such minimum interruption was possible through SLDC's efficient way of handling the state grid and through fastest response by experienced disaster management team we are having, with adequate ERS tower assemblies and some other infrastructural support. And there was a time when even the vendor movement was also restricted for this COVID situation, and getting the spares and others was really difficult. And there were people who are fighting in the hospital. They were actually fighting with their life, and oxygen plants, they were actually starving for uninterrupted power. And we have given the supply, uninterrupted power supply to those crucial places during that super cyclone event. And I think that's the most important service to the nation in a period of crisis. It was not a normal one. It is just like a war, something what previous generation or no one has ever seen before. And then going the innovative aspects of the project. This is 100% OPGW coverage of total EST network. I don't know how many states have achieved this. Probably we are one of the leading. Maybe we are the first in as a state. 100% AMR sending to central server through OPGW and through backup dual SIM arrangement, fetching meter data, that is the AVT compliance meter from remotest corner of the state as a part of SAMAS project. So right now, almost 100% meters are reporting through this OPGW connectivity to our central server at SLDC. Introduction of narrow-based composite multi-circuit towers where space is a real constraint. There are numbers of urban areas where its space is a real constraint. There we are using this narrow-based composite multi-circuit towers. Only Kerala has done it up to this point of time. Fast implementation of ADMS in the eastern region, automatic demand management system that we have implemented fast in eastern region. Dense populated urbanized area where change of aerial corridor was not possible. There construction of narrow-based tower inside broad-based tower using same foundation that we have done. In an area called Rajarat, there were some they were making some actually construction. For that, the request has come that we have to shift the tower line, and there was no aerial corridor so that we can shift it. There we have built up this narrow-based tower using the base of the existing this broad-based multi-circuit tower. And thus we have actually not only handled the challenge of the urban area, it's a dense populated one, less space, but also we have reduced the shutdown time to a highest extent. And using the 100% OPGW coverage, our protection system is right now fastest. 100% numeric protection achieved in entire state transmission system with DI event logout facilities irrespective of voltage level. Online stringing without any scaffolding using sky roller method at crossing of different voltage lines. Previously, it was a day when we need to take our shutdown for a 130 kV line when there is a crossing with the 400 kV line. But right now with this process, we are not taking the shutdown of the line 102 kV line. We are using the scaffolding, the online stringing kind of thing. And SAP-based total condition-based monitoring. SAP is introduced in almost most of the transcos, but we have gone a step further. That is the smart inventory management, and that is achieved through this condition-based monitoring we are doing through this SAP-based. Throughout the state, wherever we are doing any kind of conditioning monitoring, starting from TAN Delta, DCRM, PD, whatever is the outcome, if any spares or any replacement of CT or LA, anything is required, it will communicate directly through SAP and coming to the central server, and the process of this procurement will start instantly. Introduction of geographical information system to track the whole EST network and remote monitoring through high resolution satellite imagery on requirement, retrieving all details of any particular tower from data server using GPS device, latitude, longitude positioning of all towers with attributes already incorporated. So we can track the total transmission tower lines through this particular geographical information system. And our people initially during the survey period, they have gone with the GPS machinery and recorded all the latitude, longitude, and that is actually recorded. and we have bought the things from the fishery department regarding the high satellite imagery, high resolution. And with the help of that, there is a central server. We have already put all the details of the towers, what are the members and everything. Even we can see the visual image from a remote to monitor the tower line. This is, I think, is a leading in the country. As far state in the country, state level AGC, you know that state level AGC has not started anywhere in India. So we have already taken a pilot project, and on
Sir, sorry
request
to
of
interrupt, sir.
Honorable,
Sorry to
yes,
interrupt.
please,
Keeping the time
please.
limit in mind, kindly conclude in
Sure,
next 2
sure,
minutes.
sure. This is one thing. AGC we have already in a way, and the hybrid system to meet the challenge for lack of available space, limited downtime to commission a bay, it is used. We have already done this hybrid system. And next, I'm going fast, showing the graphs. So this is the growth in maximum demand. You can see it now. It was started from this level, and right now it is 9726. And energy level as well. There's a number of substations starting from here. Today we are here despite of the land issues. And this is the transmission capacity addition starting from 19,236 to it is right now 38,000, almost twice. And this is the growth of transmission circuit kilometer, almost 47% hike since last 11 years. And this is the system availability. You can see that right now we are in the benchmark of 9.93. Transmission loss is 2.11. We are gradually just following the slope, just reducing it. And this is the transmission price, what we are offering. So it is one of the lowest in the country here, average cost of supply. Utility wise net pad, I'm going a bit faster because time limit is there. And this is the total income in crore. So this is 1785, and this is only the figure up to December 2022. It will definitely cross this limit, and profit after tax is here. So it can show the economical health of the company. And these are the some of the key initiatives. So what we are doing, I'm not reading it out. It's visible to everyone. We have invested 9067 crore rupees since this last 12 years as project work to develop our infrastructure and for modernization. And if it is already, I'm going to the last slide, and that is roadmap ahead of up to financial year 2027-28. Numbers of substations in the pipeline and numbers of transmission lines, and work of new substations, new lines are required to cope up with the kind of growth is coming in the load for the suburbs as well as for the city. And that's all from the presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Banerjee. You have mentioned that this cyclone Amphan was there. So was there any damage to the transmission line or substations or any conductor, towers, etc. during Amphan?
Yes, sir. There was collapse of towers. So we have used our nearest towers to restore the line within shortest possible time. There were collapse of towers, and we are having the nearest towers which can be used in any voltage level. The same kind of tower we can use in 132 kV, 220 kV as well as in 408 kV. And we have put the following the actually trajectory of the storm, we have put in strategic locations so that the movement can be very fast. And we are having a very experienced team to handle the disaster management.
Okay. Second issue is that you have mentioned that you have implemented automatic demand management system, ADMS, for the first time in the eastern region. What is that? Can you just little bit elaborate it?
Yes, sir. We have started it in the year 2017. Whenever there is a mismatch, huge mismatch between drawal and schedule with the central sector drawal and schedule, then as per regulation, we cannot go beyond certain limit. It was previously 15% of the 12% of the schedule or 150 megawatt, whichever is lesser. And right now, some more stringent things has come after the recent DSM. So if there is, our logic is, if there is any such overdrawal continuing, then in the first step, automatically some load will be deducted. And the logic is the condition should sustain for 1 minute and frequency should be below 49.7 or touching 49.7. And even after the first phase of load shedding, automatic load shedding, if the condition persists for another 1 minute, then in the second stage, some second level of substation, some calculated load, it will be automatically deducted, and there is no manual intervention. The total thing is automatic. Okay, so this is in short what is ADMS. It is as per the regulation.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent presentation, and I have seen your the information you have shared with us. So it seems to be a very good network which you are maintaining, and most of the parameters are having very good results. Like your billing charges are one of the lowest in the country, and you are a profit-making company, and you have used a high degree of technicality in your maintaining your system. So I wish you all the best. Keep it up.
Thank you, sir.
I would just like to start by saying that we are all aware that the drug problem is quite severe in youth. It is not just a Punjab issue, which it is often made out to be, but also something which you come across very often in a lot of colleges, in a lot of very stressful occupations. So this is a presentation I hope that there can be takeaways for everybody from. So we have a center here called the De-Addiction and Rehabilitation Center, Saket Hospital at Patiala, which is essentially a Red Cross run institution. It is a 30-bedded hospital which works as an OAT center. OAT is basically outpatient opioid assisted treatment. So you don't have to get admitted. You get your treatment, you get your medicines, and you can go on with your regular work. So that's OAT. You also have your detoxification or de-addiction, as well as the rehabilitation treatment for which you need to be admitted. So the inpatient is 30-bedded. And otherwise, we have the OAT center also running. This is a unique model in Punjab where all three facilities are present together in one building. I'm going to move on to the next slide, which will show you the before and after. This is so when you go to a de-addiction facility anywhere, I think this is a very common outlook where it's a very dark, not ventilated, very jail-like environment. And we I think sometimes forget that we are dealing with an issue of also mental health when we're dealing with de-addiction. And I think that's where we wanted to pick it up from, that we can't have spaces which are so negative and giving such a negative outlook that also inhibit people who feel that we're not prisoners. I mean, are we being punished by going to such an OAT center or a de-addiction center where this is the kind of environment? So it's all boarded up. Also, when we went to visit first, it was completely boarded up. You'd be able to see even the windows are boarded up because there is this distrust that the patient might try to kill themselves or the patient might try to fall out of the building. So everything is like jail ke bars hote hain. It's all barred up, boarded up. You can see how the paint is also in this very, very dark and non-ventilated kind of system. I don't think any of us, if we ever, God forbid, had such an issue, would want to send our own children to such a facility. If you see anywhere outside the country, you have these beautiful spaces which look like, resorts where people stress upon mental health and they stress upon the beautification of the environment and positivity, which can sustain any mental health program. So if you can see on the right side is where we've shown you our intervention of the before and after. I'll move on to the next slide very quickly. So the uniqueness of the project, I just started off with the context. We not only brought in aesthetic changes by bringing in positive architecture, positive vibes, but we also stressed on kind of with the traditional treatment, also adding certain kinds of therapies, which we thought would really help encourage the patients, the clients who were coming here to feel like they are getting benefited from coming here and they are able to go back and not relapse. They are able to actually get rehabilitated and not relapse. They are able to be mentally strong in their own environments. And I think one of the most important things was that when a patient gets admitted here, they lose out on their employment. We have to remember that these are really poor people. They're getting treatment for free. And that means that for the 30 days that they start off with their treatment, they are without their jobs, which means that that's one of the inhibiting factors. Now, we started with skill development courses, which are fully certified courses. And these are courses such as, electrical, and you can say the AC repair courses, electrical courses. You can fix cell phone repair, where you can easily get a job anywhere. And it will come to you in the later part of the presentation also that already 6 kids who came here and who were part of the de-addiction center, they have rehabilitated. They have in fact got placements also. They are earning after having taken the skill certification course from the de-addiction center here. And we also think that it's important to have a lot of physical activity, because I think physical activity brings with it, we all know the positive outcomes, that physical activity is not just physical, it is also bringing in teamwork, mental health benefits. And so we started a gym, we started sports classes. We also started with having library and reading sessions. And it's a part of our Punjabi culture that dhyan karna and bani sunna. So these things were also started along with meditation and yoga sessions to give these persons who were coming in a toolkit for life, that even when you walk out of these doors, you don't feel that you are not mentally strong, because you will remember a skill set or a way of living which you can always utilize to keep yourself mentally strong and not go back to the same habits, because see, we cannot control the environment that person is coming from. However, I would like to point out that we are now also counseling the parents, the spouses. We're also trying to give them job opportunities so that their overall environment also improves. And other than this, I also want to point out that the district administration Patiala has in fact been building playgrounds in rural areas, just to ensure that there's an option available in especially rural areas where people can do something to take out their stresses, their daily stresses, to keep themselves occupied rather than resort to drugs. So this is something that we were doing. I also want to point out that for the first time we introduced pet therapy, which is that we had when you take care of another person or another animal or another human being, or any you become responsible for another soul. I think a lot of responsibility comes in. It's scientifically proven. We actually took a lot of researches, and this was something that there was a lot of hesitation also. God knows whether this is going to work or not. But I'm happy to say that the inmates who were there actually developed a huge bond with Buddy. We call this puppy that was brought in Buddy, and they started to take care of this. They started to develop a sense of responsibility and a sense that they could also be in control not only of themselves but also be responsible for another life. So this is also something we brought in. Music therapy also was included, of course, for the positivity. We've been doing individual as well as group counseling sessions, family counseling, like I spoke about. And for ensuring outreach, we have in fact helped make Narcotic Anonymous and Alcoholic Anonymous groups across the district, so that the people who, with peer support, who get out of de-addiction stay de-addicted and do not relapse. So we've actually set these up across the district, providing even safe government spaces where these groups can meet at a time when the government space is not in use. We also came up with a helpline which we called Sayog, which is a 24/7 helpline number. We've already received almost 158 calls on this number, and all of these persons have been assisted. I can move on to the next slide. It'll just give you a glimpse of what all we've been doing. So you can see the library room, the music therapy. We have these indoor as well as we have a gymnasium. We have yoga therapy. We have an activity room where we teach them life skills. We have a prayer room. Next, please. the skill development courses, we'd set up a skill lab, which is present in the center only. In fact, I want to point out that initially there was a lot of hesitation because there are tools that are involved in the skill lab, which the traditional approach, people again felt very scared that can we trust these inmates with these tools? They might steal them, they might try to harm themselves or another person with them. Because the phase of de-addiction and detoxification is a very tough phase. I hope nobody ever has to go through it, but there are a lot of self-doubt and a lot of self-harm thoughts that occupy the mind of the occupant. And there was a lot of distrust, but we broke that. And I'm happy to say that, like I said, already 6 kids have been placed, and we've been doing these batches with these children, at least 30 a batch. So this has been really useful. Next slide. Outcomes and impact, although I have already discussed this here, you can see buddy with the clients. The total number of our indoor patients actually went up from last year to 445 this year, 316 last year to 445. And our OPD patients also increased to 1440 from 502 of last year. And a lot of the feedback that we've got, we didn't want to play the video because of your rules. You had said either or, but a lot of the feedback that we've got, people say that, our anxiety has really reduced. They are in touch with us even post rehabilitation, and which I think is a great thing. Their sense of self-esteem and self-worth has really gone up. And I think that is a very, very big deal, especially in terms of having a toolkit which keeps you safe once you're out of those doors. And that huge feeling that we are jail inmates, we are not being trusted. It's such a dank, dark atmosphere. All of that have gone. Even the fact that there's an employment opportunity, you don't feel that loss of income because you are learning a skill which will actually enable you to set up your own enterprise or work with somebody. So I think it has become very, very effective in terms of its outcomes. Next, please. This is a bit of the positivity that we've tried to show you, how we've completely ventilated the positive spaces that we've created. And that also, I believe, if you are positive about something, it also increases your capacity to absorb a new idea. I mean, you're dealing with people who are at their lowest phase of life. So this is something which brings in that positivity and gives that assurance. And I think you take away something good from it. Anybody who going there, I'm not saying you only if you're addicted, but anybody who comes across such a thing would find that that added positivity that they experience. Next, please. So we did have certain challenges. Like I said, that there was a lot of distrust that are we being too progressive in our ideas? These children can self-harm themselves. There are also people who are really old, 50-year-olds who are set in their habits, whether they'll actually come around to learning skill courses. There were a lot of issues initially, especially with our traditional mindset. But I have to say that this center and the staff here has outperformed. It has shown the way in the whole of Punjab. In fact, I have districts visiting just to see how we are running this center. We have exposure visits happening from all over Punjab. And that also talks about the replicability and scalability. We already have, districts like Gurdaspur. We've also replicated this in our other centers also at Rajendra, which is another hospital in Patiala. There's a lot of interest from everywhere, just because this is a very, I would say it's an approach which begins with mental well-being and equipping a person to stay safe themselves. So just to go ahead, next. So these are our awareness activities, our outreach camps, which we take on a regular basis. Next, please. Our future roadmap. This is something we're already working on. I'll be really quick with it. We want to introduce computer lab skills for our patients now. We also want to include horticulture and agricultural farming, organic farming, and produce growing processing, which we think there's a huge market for, which they'll really benefit with. We want to have our own ambulance. We are working on that. We also want to teach them financial literacy. We require certain clinical labs, which we've already moved because we require tests for not just urine tests, but also for HIV/AIDS, for hepatitis. We require to be able to take those tests there itself. So we've already moved on that. And of course, so that we can connect with more specialists, we would like to be able to have video calling and telecounseling, which we've also tied up with certain specialists, which we are hoping to launch in the coming months. And of course, a very important thing is that we want to have post-rehab hand-holding. We've already started on it. In fact, we're getting very good responses from the people who walk out after de-addiction and rehabilitation. They stay in touch with us, but we want to institutionalize that so that they don't feel alone at any point, because anybody who walks out of de-addiction or any time in life, we would all know, goes through ups and downs. The person should not resort again to going back to drugs. So that's another thing that we want to work on. And of course, expanding our bed capacity, because we've become so popular. 30 beds is just not enough for Saket anymore. So we want to also take up our bed capacity to at least 50 immediately and go from there. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you, Sakshi ji. Very good presentation, to the point. How many persons have you rehabilitated or made them fully drug free?
So, I actually, I'm sorry, I don't know who's addressing this question to me, but thank you for your question. I would like to point out that there is a concept in drug de-addiction and rehabilitation. It depends on how many days, years, months you can remain drug-free. Our success rate has actually gone up to 40% from 30%. So we still have that gap where you have a relapse and people come back to us, but it's gone up. So I do believe that with our continuous efforts, this will go up. It's a habit that is hard to break, because the person is going back in an environment that is not in our control. It's no longer controlled environment. But that's why we want to work with the family members. These are the people who are coming to us. It's a Sarkari center, are coming to us are very poor. So it's the whole family that needs to be lifted up from the stresses of their occupations or lack of occupations. So we are also, in fact, doing skill rehabilitation with spouses. We have had a success story where we have done a skill rehabilitation of the wife also of the person who came back after rehab, and they're a very happy couple now. So these are stories. I really do believe that this number will continue to go up, and I hope and pray for all of these in Narcotics Anonymous, if you sit through any of their meetings, they'll start with I am 100 days drug free. They'll start with I am 300 days drug free. They count it in days ki mere 300 din nikal gaye without going back to this. So I hope that mental toolkit that we are giving them helps them to stay strong.
एक्चुअल में ये जो आपने बताया ना कि मुझे 100 डेज हो गए हैं, 300 डेज हो गए, तो ऐसे लोगों को आप दोबारा इसी सेंटर में ला करके जो आपके अफेक्टेड लोग हैं उनके सामने पेश करेंगे, तो उनको लगेगा यस, व्हेन ही कैन डू आई कैन आल्सो डू.
एब्सोल्युटली.
वो उनके लिए रोल मॉडल बनेंगे. That was the idea of asking my question.
Yes, absolutely. That's also the point of those groups, जो peer groups हमने बनाए हैं. That's absolutely right.
बिल्कुल ठीक है. धन्यवाद. बहुत अच्छा प्रेजेंटेशन है आपका. बहुत अच्छा प्रयास है. इसको और जगह भी रिप्लिकेट होना चाहिए, क्योंकि ये बहुत बड़ी समस्या है. जो इस फेज से गुजरता है वही इसकी क्रिटिकलिटी को जान सकता है, क्योंकि पूरा फैमिली और फैमिली से जो रिलेटेड लोग हैं वो सभी स्ट्रेस में ही रहते हो.
बिल्कुल जी.
बहुत ही इमोशनल इशू है ये, और किसी की लाइफ के लिए बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है, उनके बच्चों की लाइफ के लिए इम्पोर्टेंट है.
जी.
थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर द एक्सीलेंट एंड आउटस्टैंडिंग वर्क.
थैंक यू सो मच. थैंक यू.
साक्षी जी, डी एडिक्शन सेंटर तो बहुत सारे हैं हमारे कंट्री के अंदर में, हर एक स्टेट के अंदर में, नॉट एवरी स्टेट बट मोस्ट several states are having these type of de addiction centers. So what is so unique about your activities? वो मतलब स्कॉच में आपने लेट मी क्लियर
जी बताइए.
स्कॉच अवार्ड जो है स्पेशल कंट्रीब्यूशन के लिए या इनोवेशन के लिए दिया जाता है, तो उसमें आपके प्रेजेंटेशन में सारी एक्टिविटीज मेरे को रूटीन एक्टिविटीज लग रही हैं जो एक डी एडिक्शन सेंटर में होनी चाहिए. सो वो चीज मेरे को फोकस करके बताइए कि जो नॉर्म या तो जिसका इम्पैक्ट सबसे ज्यादा है और दूसरे स्टेट्स नहीं कर रहे हैं, आपने वो चीज की है.
मैं आपको बताती हूं सर. थैंक यू फॉर योर क्वेश्चन. Sir, pehle to I've brought you back to this slide of before after. Usually, and this was one of the better de-addiction centers before we intervened also. This is how a de-addiction center looks. The photos on your left, where it's not ventilated. It is not a happy space at all. It is not good for mental well-being. It's like a jail. With aesthetic contribution on the right, we've changed the whole atmosphere to become about mental healing. Number two, our most important uniqueness wali slide pe, our most important aspect has been employment opportunities and creating employment so that they go back and they have a livelihood and they have something to earn, because it is pressures of occupation. Agar hum kisi bhi इनमें से किसी भी inmate से बात करें तो उनका सबसे ज्यादा रिस्पॉन्स हमें ये आता है कि हम दिहाड़ी पे काम करते हैं, हम ट्रक चलाते हैं, हमारे पास मतलब these are the kind of responses. How do you get a person out of those pressures? Drugs is something that is being resorted to because you're not able to cope with certain situations in your life. So not only that life set, but also the skill development courses, which are actually making people employable. I've already said that 6 people are employed right now with earning well for their families. Number 3, after a patient leaves de-addiction, nobody bothers कि वो कहाँ गया, rehabilitation हो गया, उसके बाद उस person का क्या हुआ. We are actually keeping in touch with all our patients, even their families. We are doing family counseling even after they leave. These are the expectations you can still have. The person might still go through some lows. How should you behave? Many families tie up their persons who are affected with drugs. They will tie them to a bed because they don't know, they don't know how to deal. We're talking about people who are also themselves stressed and going through a lot. So these are not routine activities. If they are, I'd be glad that this is happening elsewhere also. But I'm sure that there's a takeaway from this for everybody. The pet therapy I have not heard of anywhere in the country that we've introduced. I mean, we're also doing, like we said, the libraries. We are going to expand to computer labs.
Sakshi, I got it. But I have a little bit spectacle about it.
Sir, please do come visit.
Okay. No. I'm just. I will come sometime. But there is a very good example in India. One of our film star was de-addicted, and he was being sent to some foreign countries.
Yes.
So I'm not taking the name, but that indicates that the type of skill we are having in India is not up to the mark as the foreign countries or the Western countries are having. So these type of things have ever been tried in India, or you have tried it?
Sir, that's what, sir. In fact, I began by saying that outside the addiction facility looks like a resort where the focus is totally on mental health. It is on bringing the person back to understanding themselves. But we are also being practical. I don't know if outside they teach employment courses, but we are teaching employment courses because we understand the clients that we're dealing with.
I am asking you something else. I am asking you about the treatment, that some chemicals or some injections or some medicine is being given to them so
Yes,
that
sir.
so the patient is taken to normal life in a quicker way.
Sir, there is, again, sir, I
am asking, I want to know that technicality thing.
I understood your question, sir.
Right,
sir, I will request that the treatment protocol is the same everywhere. However, we have added extra protocols because just by taking medicine, you are not going to recover unless you have become mentally strong.
So you are saying that the type of treatment is given abroad is same as given in your de-addiction center. Are you sure about it?
Yes, sir. We are sure about it. We follow the same treatment protocol in terms of medication, which is followed everywhere. But along with that, we are also offering, we're going one step beyond by offering employment opportunities.
That is correct. That I have gone. You have explained very wonderfully in your presentation. Really, efforts are remarkable and good. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Amarendra Das, and with me, my Deputy General Manager, Mr. Velvan sir, he is there. And we will be presenting on the nomination category of technology enablement with the topic of utilization of cage drone for inspection in refineries, a case study. Sir, in CPCL, we are constantly scouting for newer technologies, and we try to implement all the available technology here at CPCL. And particularly this drone technology, we have been using from the year since 2017 and 18, sir. And the unique drone, which is a case type drone, which is on the left side. This application will be explaining in detail, sir, which will have which is having multiple scalability options. And sir, the problem statement, sir, we are going with the flow of whatever the specific style it was asked, sir. So first will be explaining about the problem statement, sir. Sir, currently we were facing a lot of challenge in particularly inspection activities on the confined locations and various remote locations of our process equipments in an oil refinery. And these were the perennial issues. For example, inaccessible remote locations and spots, various locations. We are having multiple high-rise equipments and structures and various duct arrangements, which is at remote locations and inaccessible. And it is very difficult for inspection due to absence of lighting also, because the duct during turnaround and shutdowns, because of absence of lighting, it will be very difficult to inspect. And even if required, based on the criticality, we need to do a huge amount of scaffolding we used to put for the inspection activities. And overall, all these things, it was leading to decreased productivity and more man hours we are spending for that specific activities, and requirement of more stringent safety practices, because people we were going to inspect that remote locations with stringent safety precautions only, we are able to go and inspect there. So these are the issues. For example, I will be in this slide, as you can see, this the left side photo, this is one of the equipment which is almost some 50 meter height, and similarly various stacks are there, the furnace stacks, which is of around 70 meter, 80 meter height. And though this entire thing need to be inspected during the unit shutdowns, which happens once in 2 years and once in 3 years, but for inspection activities, we used to put a lot of scaffolding inside, and we used to go approach there, and after inspection, based on the condition, we used to do the maintenance activities. Even if condition is good, we used to means the maintenance activity was not required, but the scaffolding was mainly, it was put for the inspection activities. So similarly, in the rightmost side, where we can see this is a ducting arrangement in one of the furnace, which is having the total length of around 30 meter. This entire duct is very much unapproachable, and unless this duct is removed and put it in the ground level, it was difficult to inspect this entire duct. So like that, these issues were there. And this photo, as you can see, sir, this left side, this is one of the reactor. This is one of the high pressure vessel where we need to inspect whenever any opportunity comes. So this kind of things, we are having a lot of issues for inspecting, sir. So we came to means we implemented this solution. The solution to all this issue was a problem was this is one of the new type of drones. Sir, in market there are various type of drones are available, which is even from toy drone to various costly drones where people are using for the outdoor activities. But this particular drone, which is having a protective case type, it is actually very unique design. That which features I will be explaining in the next slide. So this we deployed for as a first of kind for the internal inspection strategy in our refinery use cases. So this drone, these are the four main advantages, sir. This drone is capable of it is having dual camera, thermal sensing camera, and regular 4K camera. And the LED lighting power is very high LED lighting power. So 10,000 lumens lighting power it is having. And the overall drone size is very much, it is a small one. It is around 40 centimeter diameter of the drone, which can easily go in any small openings. And the fourth one is which is one of the unique feature in this drone is there. This is the collision resilience, because it is protected by one external cage. We can fly to the nearby any structure or the equipment or on the surface itself without damaging the blades. The regular drones which is having it is if we cannot fly close to the surface, but in this particular drone, even we can fly this very close to the surface, thereby aiding to the inspection for a better inspection perspective. And so this particular drone, it is external caged, as I told. We implemented for various static equipments and the ducts, stacks, which was otherwise unapproachable and remote locations. It gave excellent visualization for the internal components. And we are having refractory, the internal conditions where refractory is also applied. We are able to see in a very efficient manner. And so we CPCL adopted this drone technology for various other purposes also, even including this, we can use it for external inspection and thermography, sir. And we have been using since 2018. And these are some few snapshots of usage of the drone. As you can see, a very small manual through that we are able to put, and the duct which otherwise it was unapproachable and it was requiring huge amount of scaffolding, we are able to access in a very efficient manner. And as I explained, sir, these are the major benefits which we got from this particular type of drone, without no human entry inspection at confined space, inspection of remote locations without damaging the drone, because in the regular drone, if you are using, there is a chance of damaging the drone, but with this drone, we are able to fly to close to the area to be inspected, and we are able to get better visualization, and we are satisfied with the inspection activities, and this thus avoided zero scaffolding requirement was there for this, and faster inspection, which led to increased productivity and saving of manpower. And by all these things, we are able to ensure the reliability of all the equipments and the associated items. And we also got a permanent record. The entire path, we are able to capture the entire video and all the snapshots, which we can later stage we can zoom it and see the condition. So these are the major benefits we got from this application. And sir, with the permission, one short video also we have made, sir. Can I proceed to play, sir? Just 1 minute video, sir.
Okay, if it is only 1 minute, please go ahead.
Welcome to Chennai Petroleum Corporation Limited. Major turnaround is a challenge for any refinery, and new technologies plays a major role during the time. Inspection initiatives in the field of automation and drone technology. CPCL has adopted drone technology in the past for various purposes like external inspection, thermography and other automation strategies like thickness gauging and visual inspection using crawler since 2018. This mini drone can be put through as small as 450 mm diameter opening was used for initial inspection stages and unapproachable locations. Equipped with high-resolution maneuverable camera and inbuilt high-efficient LED lighting system, it gave excellent visualization of internal components, refractory healthiness and stacked duct condition. Early recommendations was given based on observations prior to scaffolding erection and for inaccessible locations. Furnace stack and duct internal inspection. Stack and duct inspection. Coke drum internal inspection. Regenerator internal inspection. Cold collector refractory visual. Inspection and thermography inspection observations gave fruitful results.
Sir, as in the video, sir, we like that. Actually, sir, this video resolution is slightly because we compressed the video, but the quality of the video and the photographies, it was very good, and we are even we can zoom and see even the minor crack level also we are able to see from the picture, sir. And coming to the replicability and scalability, we are recommending this because this particular drone we can use it for any type of this confined space. So this particular drone, it would offer several benefits in accessing remote locations and spots without harming the people and infrastructure, with less damage to the drone itself, because it is having a protected case. We can go very close by to the equipments and this, which might not be possible using the regular type of drone. And this drone can provide a smart solution for inspecting restricted access locations like buildings or these bridges, canals and sewers, and any other confined spaces in the urban area for improving the public safety, sir. And for example, any closed canal or any metro tunnel, those kind of areas we can use this drone for inspecting. And sewer inspection also we can use it for this one. And in case of any emergency service, like during any natural disasters like earthquake or any other emergencies, this drone fitted with any sticker arrangement can assist emergency services to assess people and locate people. Even the drone, since it is having the thermal camera capability, even we can send it in any confined locations to scan the people using the thermal camera. So like that, it is having major multiple benefits. We can get it without harming the people or infrastructure, as well as without harming the drone itself, sir. And for other purpose, even enhancing the public safety and the traffic management, though the regular drone also it is being used at some part in our country, but using this particular drone, since the major advantage is with the light and the cage, protective cage type, we can use it for other activities like these two, sir. These two again without harming the equipment and infrastructure, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Very good presentation. Can you just give me one example where this drone has been used for preventive maintenance in, say, in last 6 months or in 1 year?
Sir, this drone actually mainly it is used for the inspection activities, sir. Based on the inspection activities, people can take a call how efficiently they can do the maintenance.
Okay.
And sir, even yes, sir.
Just one example where based on the findings of this drone, you have undertaken maintenance of any
Yes,
duct or tunnel or tower.
Sir, actually, we have hydrogen generation unit, which is the heart of our refinery. It is having a cold collector where man entry is not possible, and it is having some 80 to 100 meters length. It is refractory lined. Till this drone has been deployed, it was very difficult to assess. By external thermal imaging only, we used to identify any crack are there inside the duct. But after getting this facility, last shutdown 6 months back, this drone has been sent in, and we have got the entire photograph of the inside refractory lining, and it was good, luckily, and not luckily, it was good, and it has confirmed there is no risk on that. Such type of things we have come across many activities, sir. Even for stack, where people cannot go inside, we have put the drone from the top to bottom in the last shutdown, and the refractory lining has been ensured. And wherever repair is there, that location alone, we have put the scaffolding, and we have spent money on that. And even for a refinery, 1 day shutdown or 1 hour shutdown also is very costly in terms of gross, and we have saved some 2-3 days because of this drone, sir. That is the advantage we got it.
Okay. Any plan of popularizing this technology with other industries like process chemical industry or atomic energy or nuclear power
definitely.
plants?
Sir, as we have told, first time the election has came to us, and it was we have taken a right decision, and it was deployed first time, and we are using that. It has been horizontally deployed in many chemical industries, and we put in wherever, like Scotch Award, wherever it is possible, we are spreading this, and people are using this, sir. All refineries in a common forum CHD meet, we have presented this, well appreciated, and it has been horizontally deployed in all areas.
And sir, this
All the
like our
appreciation
process,
for the brilliant work, sir. Thank you, please.
Thank you.
Sir, have you tried to patent it?
No, sir. This drone is not. This drone is not our own drone. We have identified an agency, and though the people were hesitant to use that first, and that agency has approached us, and we have encouraged them, and now they are getting orders from other refineries, chemical industries, fertilizers, even recent past in the urban development program also. They got some
sir, okay, I got it. The drone is not yours, so it is some other agency.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so they are using it for their work.
Sir, using that technology, we integrated it with our requirement so that we
so tell me, what is so innovative? What innovation you have built in? This is the technology is available in the market, and you have used it. So what is so special about you? Is it that you have used some technology which is already available in the market? The concept is of somebody else.
No, sir. Concept is that, as you have told, it is the technology was available, and it was not aware to the industry, total industry. We have utilized that technology where it is possible to inspect all these things, sir. Because this drone has come some 4 or 5 years back, but in the last 2 years, after starting this technology utilization in these areas, now people are utilizing in many areas also.
So it is it is not something unique. It is the technology is already available, and some other agencies or some other.
Sir, very frankly telling, it has been failed. That fellow, the agency who has developed this, he has imported, and he failed also many things. With the help of us, he has developed the drone cage and the arrangement, everything, and we also supported him, so that it has been developed here first time.
Okay, I got it. So who is the real owner of this technology then? Your supply, that agency, or you?
Sir, technology is them, sir. But we have developed the customized technology, we can say, sir.
Okay. I got it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Madam, I'm Prabhu Prasad Marana. This problem with slideshow mode. If you will permit me, then I will go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, basically the structure of presentation, it consists of district at a glance, institutional arrangement, the case study that has occurred in 2022, then pre-flood, post-flood arrangement, and our future roadmap. Then this district is having, our district of Baleswar is having 2 subdivisions, and this is the entire scenario, 12 blocks, 12 tehsils, having an 80-kilometer length coastline, and the 3 major rivers that has contributed flood are Subarnarekha, Budhabalang, and Jarka. Disaster profile, as per natural disaster is concerned, we are very prone to cyclone, flood, and we are ready for tsunami. Out of 12 blocks, 9 blocks are highly vulnerable and flood prone, and other disasters are snake bite, drowning, lightning. As far as institutional arrangement is concerned, here the institutional arrangement is divided into 2 days. One is for relief, restoration, and rehabilitation, that is taken care by the Special Relief Organization. And the other part is Odisha State Disaster Management Authority, which is responsible for planning, preparedness, and prevention. And the District Disaster Management Authority, Baleswar, is the whole and sole authority and apex body led by the collector and DM, which is taking care of all sort of disaster management activities from pre-disaster to post-disaster and during the disaster also. Though technology plays a vital role, so we are using optimum technology to handle disaster and to response. Similarly, we have developed Satark app, one application. Early warning dissemination system. Under this, we have constructed different towers in different strategic locations. And decision support system is there. It's a web portal. So instead of bookkeeping, recording, to promote paperless reporting, we have developed it. So Satark, this app is developed by OSDMA, Odisha State Disaster Management Authority, and this app disseminates with information relating weather, lighting, and road accident, heat wave, and all sorts of information. So to handle the disaster, actually we have a pool of infrastructure having 140 cyclone and flood shelter. Out of that, 120 cyclone shelter where those are tilted structure having sanitation facilities. We are giving them 32 types of equipment. Those are very much useful at the time of disaster. Then, and every infrastructure is community driven. That is managed by the community itself. And all the infrastructures are user friendly. That's why disabled friendly. And the shelter level task force are there. Those are people from the community those are really working at the time of disaster. So shelter is the pioneer of our, is the backbone of our process. So we are having 140 shelter and planned our target is to train 3,500 volunteers on different themes: shelter management, search and rescue operation, and first aid. Till date, we have trained 2,800 volunteers on the above themes. Apada Mitra scheme is a NDMA, National Disaster Management Authority, and OSDMA jointly implement this scheme. Our target was 300 to train 300 volunteers within the span of 6 months, and we have completed that. And the Honorable Additional Chief Secretary and Special Railway Commissioner and other dignitaries were attended during this. And these volunteers are really from the community, and they are going. They have gone through a rigorous training program of 12 days. They have completed that, and they were trained by different special forces, just like Odisha Disaster Rapid Action Forces, fire services, civil defense. So the people are there. Those have trained these people, and these people will become our very much asset at the time of disaster. So this is a news clipping. So a case study on flood that has occurred in August 2022 in Baleswar. I have told we are having approximately a coastline of approximately 80 kilometers and 3 major contributory rivers. Those have contributed in flood are Suvarnareka, Budabalang, and Jalaka. Here, on the day of 19th August 2022 and 20th August 2022, so major rainfall has occurred. The rainfall 124.5 millimeter is a technical word, but the thing is that it's a very heavy rainfall. The quantity is 124.5 mm within the span of 24 hours. But the rainfall that has occurred was 226 millimeter, which contributed a lot in creating flood. As far as pre-flood arrangement is concerned, we have used 28 alert siren tower to disseminate, as the first picture is there. We have used 28 alert siren tower to disseminate message, to warn the people, to mobilize them, to convince them to mobilize to move to the safe shelters. Similarly, we have used satellite phones. Satellite phones were used by the response forces, the district dignitary officials, and the other people to have a track on this. Group-based messaging services were disseminated by the State Emergency Office, that is from Bhubaneswar, Odisha, to all the people. Those are covered, those are coming under that pages. Digital mobile radio were used, Miking was done by the local administration to aware the people and evacuate the people. Pre-flood arrangement, the collector visited many vulnerable pockets, interacted with the PRA members, field teams, and people, and have taken suitable steps to resolve the issues. As part of pre-flood arrangement, mandal or block is a unit, grass level unit. The block development officer, they have conducted preparatory meeting at the level with multiple stakeholders as a part of preparedness measure. Officers have visited door-to-door, officers conducted door-to-door campaign, as some people were not interested to leave their houses. So people has to, and people and police has to force them, they were forced them to move to the safe shelter. Similarly, the District Emergency Operations Center and Block Emergency Operations Center were acting at that time as a helpline number, and they were dealing with all sort of issues. And that was the single point, single window problem redressal point. So that was helped a lot during that. Here the district officials and the block officials, they have visited different places for as a part of pre-flood arrangement to assess the ground situation. Here the photographs are there, where around 1.5 lakh people were evacuated, 32 boats were deployed, and response forces from NDRF, ODRAF, and fire services were deployed, and they have acted 24/7 to evacuate the people, to extend the help. Arrangements during the flood. During the flood, people were served with cooked meal, dry meal, and Anganwadi worker and other field functionaries. Those have visited the people to distribute different kits and medicines. Around 200 relief camps were opened. Around 82 medical teams were deployed. 20 camps were opened. Halogen tablets were distributed to people to purify the water and to make it drinkable. Similarly, bleaching powder. Bleaching was used to disinfect the fuel to make it usable, drinkable. On the part of post-flood arrangement, around for the persons, for the victims, those have lost their houses, and especially those are staying at the Kacha houses, for them, polythene sheets were distributed. More than 25,000 number of polythene sheets were distributed. Essential medicines and sanitary napkins were distributed through field functionaries to the people. Total, more than 1,700 towels were disinfected as a part of post-flood arrangement. And the damage, houses damage was 1,000 plus. Crop loss was around more than 8,000 hectares. So here the damage assessment is done by the squads. As a part of, to supply more drinking water, the mobile treatment unit that has been deployed at different strategic places. Media management, though it plays a key role, because people, fake mongers or news, the rumors are there, many rumors, and people are really interested to know the real updates. That's why the collector and district magistrate Balasore, through its Twitter handle, they have posted different updates news in the Twitter handle. Then through different newspaper, print and electronic media. Then by this, we are able to regular update. We are able to check the false news and able to help the people. And future roadmap, we are trying hard to strengthen our district disaster management institutions, and we are trying the level based to work up to the village level. And mainstreaming gender issue is our priority. Capacity building of the community, because communities are always the first responder, and they are the only people those come forward and face the disaster first. So our basic priority is to help the people to make the community aware, to build their capacity by which they can handle or face the disaster. So this much is from my part. Thank you.
Prabhu Prasad ji, very good work. In fact, your pictures are very daring to see them that you have done massive work during this disaster. But how do you mobilize such a manpower, huge manpower, who are deployed to carry out the work in a professional manner? How do you
Sir, actually, just we are having a strategy. Sir, just we have showcased a case study of flood. So we have showcased a case study of flood. Apart from flood, we are regularly facing cyclones, and we have built such an infrastructure, not an infrastructure, but the machineries, the administration, from grassroots level to top level. And basically, we are focusing more at the grassroots level. So that's why from the community, we are taking village as a unit, and we are selecting the people from the village level, especially 50 member. We are calling them as task force member. We are training them. We are training them by sending the trainers and creating a hub of people at the grassroots level. So that is our strategy, and we are adopting the bottom up approach, and that's why many times the different UN agencies, they have appreciated the Odisha model, and we are working on that, sir.
Thank you, please. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I don't have any specific question.
Okay.